Good morning, students. Today I'll be talking about extremophiles. So, extremophiles are, as the name suggests, extremophiles are the organisms that are able or that are capable of surviving in extreme conditions. So, these environments are inhospitable, reaching extreme conditions of maybe heat, acidity, pressure, and cold that would be fatal to most other life forms or the normal organisms. So extremophiles can be divided into two broad categories, that is extremophilic organisms and extremotolerant organisms. Now, extremophilic organisms are those organisms which require one or more extreme conditions to survive. So the word philic means loving. So these prefer or they are capable of surviving in extreme conditions. And extremotolerant organisms are the organisms which can tolerate extreme conditions of one or more physical parameters, even though they grow optimally at neutral conditions. So the difference is extremotolerant, they can grow in normally they prefer to grow in normal conditions, but they can survive in they can survive in extreme conditions also, while extremophilic they love to or they are capable of surviving in extreme conditions. So these extreme environments are categorized by various unfavorable conditions like high or low temperature, high or low pressure, high acidity, or maybe high pH, etc. So now examples of some extreme environment include the polar regions, the deserts, the volcanic regions, deep ocean trenches, outer space, and even other planet of the solar system. Now, some of the common extreme environment includes alkaline conditions, acidic conditions, extremely hot or cold conditions, high salt concentrations, etc. The enzymes secreted by extremophiles are called extremoenzymes, which allow them to function in such extreme environment. So let us talk about each of those categories of the extremophiles one by one. So the first one is acidophiles. So acidophiles are the organisms or the extremophiles which can live in extreme acidic environment. Now the second one is alkanophiles. Now alkanophiles can live in extreme basic conditions where the pH is very high. Then we have thermophiles. Thermophiles are the organisms which can survive in extreme high temperatures. Then we have barophiles, which can sustain very high pressures, and osmophiles, which can survive in high osmotic conditions. So when we talk about extreme temperature, two types of extreme environments can be there, cold and hot. So extremely cold environment, generally there are organisms which can grow in which can survive in cool environments, and those are known as cryophiles or psychrophiles. So these are those organisms with environmental which can survive at environmental temperature below 5 degrees Celsius. Generally, this can be found in deep ocean niches at the peak of high mountains or the polar regions. Then we have extreme hot environment also, which are characterized by environmental temperature higher than 45 degrees Celsius. Those are known as thermophilic organisms. So when we are talking about temperature, they can be thermophilic or cryophilic organisms. Then if we are talking about the extreme pH conditions, there are organisms that can survive at very high or very low pH. That is, they can survive at extreme acidic environment, or they can stay in, or they can survive in extreme alkaline environments. Now, there are some organisms which can survive at extreme salt concentrations, and those are known as halophiles. We have extreme pressure also as an extreme condition. So there are organisms that can survive at extreme high pressure, and those are, we call them as barophilic organisms. Talking about acidophiles, those acidophiles are adapted to conditions with acidic pH value that ranges from 1 to 5. And this group includes some eukaryotes, bacteria, and archaea found in places like volcanic areas, hydrothermal sources, etc. And acidophiles regulate their pH level through a variety of specialized mechanisms, some of which are passive, that is not exerting energy, and some of which are active. So the passive mechanism usually involve reinforcing the cell wall or the cell membrane against the external environment, and may involve secreting a biofilm to hinder the diffusion of the molecules into the cell. Or there can be another approach like changing their cell membrane entirely to incorporate protective substance and fatty acids. Then we have some acidophiles which can secrete buffer molecules that have basic amino acids such as lysine, histidine, and arginine to help raise their internal pH level. Similarly, we have alkaliphiles, which can grow at extreme high pH, generally at the range of around 9 to 13, with the optimal pH being 10. And these also maintain homeostasis by both passive and active mechanisms. So the passive mechanism include pooling cytoplasmic polyamines inside the cell. These polyamines, they are rich in positively charged amino groups that buffer the cytoplasm in alkaline environment. Now, another passive mechanism is having a low membrane permeability, which hinders the movement of protein in and out of the cell. The active method of regulation involves a sodium ion channel that carries protons onto the cell. Then we have thermophiles. Thermophiles thrive in extremely high temperature between 113 and 251 degree Fahrenheit. They can be found in places like hydrothermal vents, volcanic sediments, and hot springs. The amino acids, generally, their survival in such places can be accredited to their extremoenzymes. So the amino acids of these type of enzymes do not lose their shape and misfold in extreme heat, allowing it for continued proper function. So thermophiles are further divided into different groups like facultative thermophiles and obligate thermophiles. Facultative thermophiles can thrive at both high and moderate temperature, while obligate thermophiles require high temperature for growth. Next is psychrophiles. These psychrophiles, also known as cryophiles, thrive in extremely low temperature of 5 degree Fahrenheit or lower. And this group belongs to all three domains of life, that is bacteria, archaea, and eukaryotes, and can be found in places like cold soils, permafrost, polar regions, ice cold water, etc. One way they survive in extreme cold can be attributed to their extremoenzymes, which continue to function even at low temperature. These psychrophiles are also able to produce proteins that are functional in cold temperature and contain large amount of unsaturated fatty acids in their plasma membrane that help buffer the cells from the cold. So that's all for today. Thank you.